If you know me, you'll know that I am Aquilius Epic, a semi-mediocre, small-time, tea and crumpet loving, schnitzel-eating YouTuber, and as always, I hope you're having an awesome day. One thing I am not, however, is a game developer. Still, I am gifted with a kind of decent imagination. I am an artist, despite lacking sketching skills. I prefer the notebook over the crayons. That is why this video is intended more as a kind of brainstorm, solely from the perspective of a hopeful dreamer, a rant we can turn into a dialogue. If Akame ga Kill were a game. Now some of you may be asking, what in the world is Akame ga Kill? Akame ga Kill is an IP which started with the serialization of the manga Akame ga Kill, written by Takehiro and illustrated by Tetsuya Tashiro in 2010. Excuse me for butchering a few Japanese names here and there. For the purpose of this video, I'll be mostly drawing information from the 2014 anime, although there is also a manga adaptation and a prequel manga called Akame ga Kill 0. The plot focused on the rebellious group of assassins called Night Raid, trying to overthrow the leadership of a decaying and corrupt empire in the name of revolution. Conveniently, the group mostly consists of hot chicks, apart from the protagonist, the gentle Gaylord, and the dude whose name I always forget, but only figured out was actually called Lubbock after rewatching the entire series, which I did not regret, by the way. Watch it, it's a good series. And a homunculus dude, who can cook really damn good. To keep things interesting, they have to square off against the Jaegers, a unit of crack imperial elites, who are led by the masochist's wet dream, Esdeath. I mean, come on, look, she's prime waifu material. The narrative is primarily fueled by the combat of the powerful main characters and the personalization of the opposing factions. So, let's see how we can turn this into a decent player experience. This is your typical edgy teens fantasy, so expect some dark tones, blood, and Linkin Park AMVs. As stated, combat is a major driving point of this story, primarily focused on the antics of Night Raid, wielded as a powerful Tegu, also known as Imperial Relics. Very powerful weapons indeed. However, some of these weapons are slightly overpowered in certain scenarios. I mean, come on, a sword with a guaranteed one-hit kill may be something a hostile main character can ward off. However, minions couldn't stand a chance, making this a pretty broken system in any game. This conundrum could be used to great effect in a kind of hack and slash game, perhaps similar to the Dynasty Warriors franchise. While granting the player immense power to ward off hordes of foes, skilled enemies can provide a challenge. To be fair, that is not the route I would go down, however. As Night Raid is a more secretive organization, I would put more emphasis on direct combat and working your way up to your objective using clever traverse of the map. The special weapons, strengths, and personality traits of your character could be used to great effect. Due to the varied cast, this kind of level design could work on both sides of the war. The Jaegers, a special squad in their own right, could act as the player's team to spice things up. Just imagine subjugating your enemies as Esdeath in all her beauty. Ideally, perspective and movement options could derive from the famous Assassin's Creed franchise, as could small-scale combat. For the big Tegu vs Tegu battles, I would opt for a more choreographed approach. Perhaps epic one-on-one battles, as seen in Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. One could utilize a different approach on hero battles, depending on the skill level which is to be appealed to. Whereas quick-time events and button mashing are entertaining in their own right, and can be used to a certain cinematic effect. If the battles are more skill-based, as with combos, counter-combos, and cooldowns, I'd say it'd be more satisfying. Night Raid and the Jaegers are two sets of very unique characters, which are essentially special forces in their respective armies. What would be more fitting in that regard as a Commandos-influenced team-based strategy games? Perhaps Blades of the Shogun, or in a broader sense even Fallout Tactics, could fall into the spectrum of games I had in mind. Utilising a turn-based combat and movement system could perhaps be different ways of expressing the traits of every character. Perhaps you'd prefer something of a larger scale, however. In the narrative, the Empire is constantly at war, within and beyond its borders. Top waifu Esdev is the most feared and notorious commander, even going as far as to provoke neighbouring states and tribes, only for the sake of fighting them. With a bit of expansion into the lore, even a total war-like real-time strategy game from Esdev's point of view seems like a possibility. I mean, who wouldn't want to be subjugated by Esdev, eh? As many anime of late, Akame ga Kill's world is one that could lend itself very well to a kind of RPG setting. We have a vast overworld with villages, cities, monsters, nature, girls in bikinis, and rather interesting, if not slightly generic by now, locations. The cast of characters is broad enough to immerse yourself in personal plot lines, while also fine-tuning the skills and character attributes to your playstyle. The setting is dark, gritty, and moody, so it is up to the characters and dialogue options to change the mood, to the better, the worse, the comedic, the depressing, the philosophical, and the typical anime death screams. As assassins, you could easily obtain side missions by informants, with which you can earn money. If the story were to play from the anime's protagonist, Tatsumi's, perspective, one could choose to either send the money back to your village, or use it to upgrade your equipment, in similar fashion to Red Dead Redemption 2. If we take a more RPG-like approach to this game, I doubt making it an MMORPG would aid any sense of immersion. However, a cooperative campaign story mode could be a great way to work as an effective team in combat. Or you could have an all-out one-on-one Street Fighter like Brawler. I see no reason why not. Oh, the one-hit killing sword maybe. Where's a nerf hammer? Oh well, just wear armor then. What I have stated in this video is not to be taken at face value. We will never find out if the perfect game could be made if we have not tried it. However, if I could give it a shot, if I had the materials, resources, and skills to make this a reality, I would make an Akame ga Kill game as an Assassin's Creed Odyssey-like RPG light, utilising established characters and their quirks, relations, and combat moves, mixed with open world elements, monsters, girls in bikinis, and a lot of masochism. And super graphics. That is merely how I would do it. How would you? Or perhaps, will you? This is the first video in my new series, if it were a game, where I take a look at franchises and IPs that lack a video game adaptation, and use my imagination to come up with ideas for a hypothetical game adaptation. If you would like me to cover you an idea, franchise, or IP in this series, be it from a book, film, or even music, just let me know in the comments below. A special thanks to my support on Patreon, Mr Zudo. All financial support helps me directly to upgrade my video hard and software, and is greatly appreciated. And of course, special thanks to you, the epic viewers out there. You are the ones keeping this channel alive. For you, I'll be leaving some more stuff you'll enjoy in the end cards. Have an awesome day, keep healthy, and stay epic. Because the next video is where I'll see ya. Okay, more effective end cards, more effective end cards. Check out the stuff to stay epic, everybody. Go on, do it, do it, do it, do it. Have you done it yet? Good. Thank you.